Have you ever noticed how easily the average person crumbles when they are disrespected? A harsh word is spoken, a line is crossed, and immediately the chaos begins. Their heart rate spikes, their voice raises to match the aggressor, and they enter a frantic state of defense. They hand over the keys to their emotional state to someone else. This is the common path, a reactive existence where your peace is dictated by the behavior of others. But the Stoic, the rare individual who has cultivated an unshakable core, operates differently. When the Stoic is crossed, they do not explode, they do not defend, they do not waver. They simply observe. They understand a fundamental truth that the masses ignore. He who angers you, conquers you. Welcome. Today we are dissecting the precise architecture of verbal power. We are not talking about comebacks or petty insults. We are talking about the kind of verbal precision that halts disrespect in its tracks and reclaims the room without raising a voice. We are going to explore the specific things you can say when someone crosses the line. Phrases that are rooted in ancient wisdom but designed for modern warfare. Most people believe that strength is shown through loudness. They think that if someone insults them, they must insult them back harder to win. This is a binary trap. When you react with anger, you are proving that the other person's opinion has weight. You are validating their power over you. The Stoic approach is counterintuitive. Reaction is weakness. Inaction is strategy. By refusing to engage in the chaos, you force the aggressor to sit alone in their own negativity. You become a mirror, not a target. Let us begin with the first mechanism of defense, which is actually a form of aggressive curiosity. When someone crosses a line, makes a rude comment, or attempts to belittle you, the average person defends themselves. They say, "I am not like that," or "How dare you?" This is defensive. Instead, use the probe of intent. You look them in the eye, you hold the silence for a second too long, and you ask, "I'm curious, what is your intention with that comment?" Feel the shift in vibration. You have moved from the accused to the judge. By asking for their intention, you are stripping away the emotional noise and demanding logic. Disrespect usually relies on speed and implication. It relies on you getting upset before you process what happened. When you pause and ask for the intention, you force them to explain their rudeness. Most of the time, they cannot. They will stutter, they will say, "It was just a joke," or they will back down. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king who ruled the Roman Empire, often dealt with betrayal and incompetence. He reminded himself daily that the wrongdoing of others was a result of their own ignorance. When you ask, "What is your intention?" you are applying this wisdom. You are refusing to accept the insult as a fact and instead treating it as a specimen to be examined. You are signaling that you are not hurt. You are merely observing a flaw in their character. You are anchored in reality while they are drifting in emotion. The second powerful response is for when someone is being passive-aggressive or trying to disguise an insult as feedback. The common reaction is to argue the details, but the Stoic knows that the details are a distraction. The issue is the disrespect. In this moment, you employ the agreement of indifference. You simply say, "That is an interesting perspective." And then you go back to work. You go back to what you were doing. You do not elaborate. You do not justify. You treat their insult with the same weight you would treat a passing cloud, something that exists but has no bearing on your journey. This is the ultimate counterintuitive move. We are wired to want to correct the record. We feel that if we don't argue, we are admitting defeat. But consider the logic of the mountain. Does the mountain scream at the wind that strikes it? No, the mountain endures. By saying, "That is an interesting perspective," you are essentially saying, "I hear you, but your words do not penetrate my fortress." You are granting them the right to be wrong. Seneca, the great Stoic statesman, taught that anger is a temporary madness. When you refuse to argue, you deny the madness an entry point. You are protecting your energy. This isn't about ignoring the world. It is about financial control of your emotional resources. Your peace is the currency, and you refuse to spend it on something so trivial as another person's rudeness. However, there are times when the line crossed is severe. When a boundary is violated, it requires more than indifference. It requires a wall. But walls do not need to be built with screaming. They are built with granite. When someone speaks to you with open disrespect, you do not need to shout. You use the sovereign declaration. You look at them with zero emotion on your face and say, "I will not allow you to speak to me that way. We can continue this when you are ready to be respectful." Notice the structure here. It is not a request. You are not saying, "Please stop." You are not asking, "Why are you being mean?" You are stating a law of physics regarding your presence. "I will not allow." It implies that you have full authority over your reality. Most people fear setting boundaries because they crave acceptance. They endure abuse because they are afraid of the conflict that might arise from stopping it. But here is the deep emotional logic. You are not setting the boundary to change them. You are setting the boundary to honor yourself. If you allow someone to cross the line without consequence, you are signaling to your own subconscious that you are not worth protecting. Over time, this erodes your self-respect. Epictetus, born a slave who became a master of philosophy, knew that true freedom is not physical, it is mental. He taught that no man is free who is not master of himself. When you calmly state your boundary, you are exercising your mastery. You are declaring that your dignity is non-negotiable. If they continue to shout, you simply walk away. The conversation is over because you decided it is over. That is power. Let's move deeper into the psychology of the aggressor. Often when someone crosses the line, they are projecting their own internal chaos onto you. They are insecure, stressed, or feeling inferior, and they try to lower your status to raise their own. The common reaction is to fight for status. The Stoic reaction is to highlight their instability. You can use the mirror of compassion. You ask, "Are you okay? You seem very agitated today." This is devastating to an ego-driven attacker. They want to fight, but you give them therapy. By asking if they are okay, you frame their behavior not as a threat to you, but as a symptom of their own weakness. You are framing the situation so that they are the one who has lost control, and you are the stable, benevolent observer. This aligns with the Stoic view of the connectedness of humanity. We are all part of the same whole, and when one person acts out, it is because they have lost their way. By responding with a question about their well-being, you remain grounded. You radiate an energy of safety and superiority, not an arrogant superiority, but the superiority of a calm mind over a chaotic one. It instantly changes the dynamic of the room. They are no longer the predator, they are the patient. There is another scenario, perhaps the most difficult one, where the person crossing the line is someone you love or work closely with, and the disrespect is subtle, repeated, and draining. In these moments, words can sometimes fail. The most powerful thing to say is often nothing at all. This is the tactical void. When they make the comment, you stop. You do not look away, you look right at them. You hold the silence for 3, 4, 5 seconds. You let the silence become heavy. You let it fill the room. In that silence, the vibration of their words hangs in the air. They hear the echo of their own nastiness. Most people cannot tolerate this silence. They will rush to fill it. They will say, "I'm just saying," or "Don't be so sensitive." When they speak to fill the silence, they are retreating. After the silence has done its work, you deliver a single, precise sentence. "I don't see how that comment was necessary." And then you move on. This combination of the tactical void and the precise dismissal is pure Stoicism. It creates a gap between the stimulus and the response. In that gap, you find your freedom. As the Austrian neurologist and Holocaust survivor, Viktor Frankl, who was heavily influenced by Stoic thought, said, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." By using silence, you are expanding that space. You are showing that you are not a puppet that twitches every time a string is pulled. You are a mountain. The wind blows, but the mountain does not move. The silence radiates confidence. It shows that you are comfortable in the void, while they are desperate for noise. Finally, we must address the ultimate line crossing, the betrayal of character. When someone you trusted attacks you or reveals they do not have your best interests at heart, the pain is real. The emotional logic here is difficult. We want to scream, to list all the things we did for them, to demand an apology. But the Stoic knows that the past is dead. The only thing that exists is the present. In this moment, your response should be final. It creates a permanent separation between your path and theirs. You say, I judge people by their actions, not their words, and your actions have told me everything I need to know. This phrase is an anchor. It stops the gaslighting. It stops the excuses. It brings the interaction down to the raw essence of reality. Action. The Stoics believe that virtue is the only good, and virtue is proven through action. If someone's actions are treacherous, their words are meaningless. By stating this, you are not just breaking up with a friend or partner or business associate. You are reaffirming your own code of ethics. You are saying that you live by a standard of truth, and they have fallen below it. You are not angry, you are disappointed, and you are moving on. This kind of closure is unshakable. It leaves no room for argument because it is based on the undeniable reality of what they did, not what they meant to do. To truly apply these pillars in your life, you must understand that this is not about memorizing a script. It is about altering your vibration. When you walk into a room, you must carry the assumption that you are sovereign over your own mind. If you are constantly worried about what people think of you, these phrases will come out sounding weak. They will sound rehearsed. You must internalize the authority anchor that you are a rational being, capable of reason, and that no external force can harm your character without your consent. As Epictetus said, if anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, he was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone. That is the level of detachment you must aim for. Most people live in a binary world of friend or foe, happy or sad, praised or insulted. They are tossed around like a ship in a storm. But you, the Stoic student, you are building a keel. You are going deep. When the surface waves of disrespect crash against you, you do not capsize. You feel the impact, you acknowledge it, and then you continue on your course. Remember, the goal is not to silence the world. The world will always be loud, chaotic, and often disrespectful. The goal is to silence the turmoil within yourself. When you use these phrases, when you ask for intention, when you agree with indifference, when you use the tactical void, you are not just winning a conversation. You are engaging in a spiritual practice. You are reinforcing the walls of your inner citadel. So the next time someone crosses the line, do not see it as a threat. See it as a test. See it as an opportunity to practice the art of remaining unshakable. Most people will get angry and suffer the consequences of their lack of control. But you will pause. You will look them in the eye, and you will speak with the precision of a surgeon and the calm of a king. Because in the end, it is not the loudness of the voice that commands respect, but the depth of the silence from which it speaks. Stay grounded, stay stoic, and let your actions endure while their noise fades into nothingness.